Hi, Ryan Kingsline here, founder of UArtsy, and one of the things that I love to do the most is unlock the artist inside of you. Now at UArtsy, I've seen thousands of students come through, and one of the questions I get all the time is, how do I start? And I don't mean, how do I start learning, right? Because that's, take a class. How do I start creating my art? Like the stuff that makes a difference to me. Maybe you've already done all this training, but you're at the stage now where you just don't know what to do. How do you start to create work that might go in your portfolio, might go in a gallery, might represent who you are? How do you start? And I have to tell them every single time that it's not about what or how to start. It's about how to stop stopping. And I know that whole phrase has gone around quite a bit, but it's actually a very valuable way to look at things. How to stop stopping. Because as a human, as a creative person, you're probably going all the time with ideas. You got things popping into your head all the time, or maybe now you have no ideas because you've stopped. You've stopped them all. Right? And I know that happened to me 5 years ago. I just hit a total creative block. I couldn't do anything. My business was going and looking towards bankruptcy. Cash flow was dwindling. It was a dark, dark time. And I couldn't figure out what to do next. I was out of ideas. I couldn't sculpt. I couldn't paint. I couldn't produce work without hating it, not to put too harsh of a term on it. And not to be, not without being dissatisfied with myself for having made that. And what I learned during that time was that I had been stopping myself for over a decade. And I want to share with you some of the ways that we stop. I want to share that, but the first thing we have to understand is that we've been stopping ourselves from producing our own work for a long time. Why did we go to school? Why did we take that class? Well, we took that class because we wanted to do something. There was something core deep inside, and we said to ourselves, how can I do that? How can I create that? And the answer we gave ourselves wasn't, well, pick up a piece of paper, or pick up some paint, or open up ZBrush, or open up Maya, or open up Photoshop and just start painting. That wasn't the answer we gave ourselves. The answer we gave ourselves was, well, you got to take this class. I run an online art school. I see this happen all the time. People come in, they've got drive, they've got momentum, and that drive and that momentum eventually goes away because they've lost contact with the original purpose, the original reason that got them into the class. The original reason was they wanted to make something. They asked themselves, how do I do it? The answer they got was, well, take this class, learn from this guy. Okay? Maybe go over here, do some life drawing, maybe go over here. All these things, all these other things that we were supposed to do so that we could come back and do the one thing that we really just wanted to do, which was just create something. Now, why did we go out here, take this class, do all of these things? It's not an unreasonable thing, right? I do it, I've done it. It's because we assessed where we are today and we assessed where we wanted to be, and we said there's a gap, there's a skill gap. In order for me to accomplish this, I need to level up my skills. So let me go level up my skills, and I'm going to come back here and do it. But skill is a trap, right? It's just a mountaintop. You get to the top of the mountain, there's another mountain. You get to the top of that mountain, there's the moon. You get to the moon, there's Mars. You get to Mars, there's the edge of the galaxy. You get to the edge of the galaxy, there is something else. There is another galaxy, right? There's always something else to achieve. So the reason why we lose contact with that original impulse is because we get trapped in this skill spiral, constantly trying to acquire something. It's a commercialism that eats our soul. And I know it's a little weird to say commercialism, right? Like commercialism, you just go out and buy the latest iPhone, the latest iPhone. I have the latest iPhone. You go out and you buy the latest everything, right? You got to get all of these things. But as artists, getting all of these things doesn't make us better artists. Just like getting all of these things doesn't make us better people or happier people. They're cool, it's nice. I love my iPhone. I love my iPad Pro. my Apple Pencil. I love these things, but they are not the reason I am happy. And they are not the reason why I am creating artwork. And just because I learned how to draw the figure is not the reason why I create artwork. I don't create artwork just so I can draw the figure, so I can look, fancy while I do it, and I can show it off to somebody. If that's what happens, we reach that gap, that wall, and we realize eventually that I didn't start out to do this. I started out to do something cool that was engaging to me. And along the journey, I got trapped in a form of commercialism that led me down a totally different path. We need to come back to the original impetus. Why are you doing this? Why are you an artist? Why are you a creative? What's the goal for you? And I don't mean the goal as in this goal here. I mean the goal as in this goal here, in the moment, inside. How does it make you feel? That feeling is what we want. So how do you start? You stop stopping. How do you stop stopping? Well, you ask yourself, what do I want to do? What is it that I want to create? Why do I want to create, and how is this going to impact my life? Start to reconnect with that original impulse that put you down this creative path. And if you can get back to that why, then you'll find a whole resource of emotions and resilience and will to push through problems. So for example, behind me over here, you see a painting, right? And one of the things I learned this, it was a big, strong lesson. I learned this in that deep, dark month. I learned that I may never acquire all the skills that I need to accomplish what I want. But no matter what, I will never get to my end goal unless I start. The only way I'm going to get better is if I start getting better. That requires me to start, and it requires me to start today. This is a really important thing, because every time you delay something, it's not just that you delay it, right? It's like, okay, I can do that tomorrow, and then tomorrow you can do that. No, it costs you money. It's a parking fine that you don't pay. You push it off today, okay, well, let's say that toll road that you didn't pay, it's only going to be $5. You don't pay it for a month, it's going to be $1,000. Only in this case, it's not money, it's emotional, or let me say it another way, it's how we feel about ourselves. You push something off for a day, you're like, oh, that's not good, Ryan, but I'm okay. You push it off for a month, maybe I'm not an artist. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. That's how you start talking to yourself. When you push something off, it's going to cost you. And it's going to cost you in your opinion of yourself. So what you got to do is get rid of the friction. Whatever that friction is, right? That friction could be, well, I need this skill, yeah? I need this tool, yeah? I need these things. Yeah, of course you do. But you know what? You're never going to stop needing those things. So get up and start now. Don't do it with all these fancy tools. There are people out there right now creating better artwork than you and I with less tools, because they have the resilience and the willpower to push through, to make it happen no matter what. They don't wait for themselves to be comfortable. Comfortable, I've got all my tools, everything's laid out and organized. Okay? Leave that for somebody else. You and I, our job is to get messy. Our job is to get messy, make shit happen, and build this thing. That's our job, right? Not to go through life all pampered and happy and organized, and comfortable. No, disorganized, struggling, a little frustrated, a little happy, right? But in the mix, making it happen. So whatever that friction is, screw it. That friction is costing you a part of your soul every day of your life. It is a fine you are levying on yourself. And there is no reason in God's given earth to do that. There is no value, there is no benefit. Stop fining yourself. Start creating your artwork today. Start creating any part of it. Behind me, I have no idea what this figure is, what this guy in this canvas is all about. I got no idea what's going on with this, nearly life-size painting. But I'm going to find it out. I have no idea. I got no idea what his emotions are, but I'm going to find it out. I got no idea what the colors are, but I'm going to find it out. I got no idea what the background is, but I'm going to find it out. Because that's what my job is. My job is to figure this stuff out. It's not to know it. Okay? It's to figure it out. That's the problem we get into. We think that, let's say we go back to that original calculation. I want to produce this work. All right, what do I need to produce this work? Because I see the skill gap. Well, now I make this assessment that in order for me to do this, I have to know it. Big problem. In order for me to do it, I have to know it. That's a lie. That's a lie we tell ourselves too often. I run an art school, I do it myself. It is a lie. In order for you to do something, you do not need to know it. You need to start and you need to discover it. That's how this works. You need to discover it. If you're waiting until you know it, then you're waiting until you're comfortable with it. If you're waiting until you're comfortable with it, you're waiting until you're dead. You're waiting until it's meaningless. You're waiting until you're not really all that invested in it. Because when you're invested in it, when you are unsure about it, when you are a little bit at the edge, that's when you're going to have all that resilience and willpower, man. We're humans. We need struggle. We don't just go by comfort. We need that struggle that puts us on the edge of the seat, that gives us the resources to make things happen. So our job and your job today, look at what you're doing in your creative empire. This could be your business. Right? I run a business. I go through the exact same things in my business that I do in my art studio. Exact same things. They're all creative problems. Right? This is why artists, to me today, artists have the most to give to the world, because they have that creative process, that struggle of birthing something is part of their genetic code. And in order for us to thrive in today's world, in today's economy, you got to produce, you got to create. You can't just take. And that means you got to go through this process. The same process artists have gone through for generations. Okay? And the key here, this is the key. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to look at your creative empire, your creative work, and you're going to start to analyze, what are you waiting to do until you know it? And if that's the case, what can you start doing today? What part of that can you start doing today? Maybe you can't do the whole thing because you got to discover it. What part of it can you do? That's the part you're going to do today. So you're going to close this video. You're going to take a good, hard, long look at your creative output. You're going to look at what are you waiting for? What task are you waiting for? Maybe you're waiting until you understand anatomy to create a character. Maybe you're waiting until you understand color to create a painting. Okay? Maybe you're waiting until you understand marketing to be able to start a business. What part of that can you do today? Maybe you can start a website. Maybe you can go to Shopify and start your online cart or your online website. Maybe you can make a graphic for your business. Okay? Maybe you can buy some canvas and you can work in black and white, right? Grisaille, done for hundreds of years. Maybe you can just start to paint a face on the canvas. Maybe you can sculpt a face. Any tiny bit that you can do, that's what you're going to do as soon as you click off this video. Deal? Yeah? All right. See you later. Look forward to seeing what you do. Share some comments down below. Let me know how it goes. And talk to you soon.